was eye-opening. I was just kind of, you see it on TV, and you look at it and go, that's kind of sad, but then when you see it in real life, it's just nuts. It's insane. Can't believe that people adapt to life like that.
Eye-opening, very. To see what their struggles of everyday life compared to what we have, for what we take for granted. It's tough on them, very tough.
You saw a lot of shacks. The roads reminded me of the old grass roads around here, or their main roads.
Their unemployment rate, which I found this fascinating, is over 50%. So half of the people in Nicaragua work, the other half do not. So, they live to survive.
My takeaway is that we're trying to help a community become sustainable, to take care of themselves.
Farming down there is they just rely on whatever water they're gonna get. It's not something that, like here, we got irrigation and we can add water or not add water. There, they're just relying on Mother Nature only.
Considering the country down there where it's so dry a good share of the year, it helps them get a better crop from what they were getting. Because once the rainy season stops, it's dry as a bone. I mean, the ground gets hard as a rock, and you just can't grow anything in it without water.
This particular water system that Maguire Iron is getting behind and helping fund for them is the only water system in a 35 to 50 mile radius around this area. So nobody else has irrigation like these people are going to have by the early part of 2018.
It's a big change for them to help their crops. You get more bushel per acre, for what they do farm. They don't use tractors, nothing like that, so it's all done by hand, and many families are together to do the work.
They drill a well, they put in a pump, they'll build a tank, a concrete tank up on the hill, and then they'll have some solar panels that will actually power the pump in the well, so it gets water into the tank, and then from there it goes to an above ground irrigation system, which is basically just a series of pipes and hoses that run alongside the field, and they'll run the hoses down the corn rows or the bean rows, and literally tie, just like a garden hose, to each one of the corn stalks. And that's how they regulate. There's little valves. That's how they regulate the amount of water, when they want it, how much they want. It's not a lot different than us and how we water our gardens. Everything's by hand. All their farming techniques are by hand. But what this allows them to do, rather than having maybe one crop due to poor rain conditions or poor water conditions, they actually can effectively raise 3 crops a year with irrigation.
The big heart that Maguire Iron has. I mean, everybody's so willing to help. It's just, I don't know, it just makes you feel good inside.
We believe in helping people if we can. And I think a lot of people kind of overlook that anymore. Everybody's so wound up in their own lives that they kind of overlook the people that need help. And we're trying to help them.
Now that I've seen it, I couldn't be prouder to work for Maguire Iron. It's going to change lives.
Just the impact of what we have done in our trip is made a lot of, I think made a pretty good impact for the fact of people being happy, seeing us, knowing that, that we're there to help them.
We look forward to continued support of these people. We're talking about opportunities in ways that we can continue to work with them beyond just providing the funding of the irrigation system, ways that we can continue to give them tools and give them opportunities to truly be sustainable and long-term viable with this, with their farming, their irrigation, and other things that they need to sustain their lives.
Water to them, I mean, water is important to everybody, but to those farming communities, water is everything. And to be able to bring that to a community, to feed families in the cooperative, it's just a great thing. It's wonderful.